Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Love, and in this video I have decided to just share my payday routine with you all guys, because from my previous videos and through the messages that I get are asking about, is it really doable, the living expenses here in Canada? Am I gonna be able to survive living here in Canada? Because of course, like if you are just planning to go here and you don't have any idea how much really the cost of living in a place, you would want to research on the people who already been living here and ask questions about it. And sometimes it's hard to find people who are really transparent on their expenses. They will try to not discourage us, or they will exaggerate it sometimes. And for me, I don't like that because I want to be realistic, especially the cost of living in a place. As for me, that I have been living in other countries for years now, like this is not my first country that I moved in, and it's hard to move when you don't have any idea with regards to the cost of living in a place that you're trying to move. How is it like living there? Like, am I gonna be able to afford it, like with my job that I have right now? I am not a financial advisor, let's be clear on that. I am just sharing my own personal experience, and I am a nurse by profession, and I just got my license here in Canada as a registered nurse. So it was a big jump from my survival job to earning as a registered nurse here in Canada. And that's why I am very mindful of how I am going to spend my hard earned money, because like, to be honest, working as a nurse is not easy, and you don't just want to spend those hard earned money on unnecessary things, right? And of course, like most of the people who are trying to move here to Canada or just starting their career here, all we want is a financial freedom in the future, and we don't want to be working our ass off forever, right? We want to retire, we want to go back to the Philippines, or we want to go back to our own country to be this snowbird, right? Because sometimes it's kind of get cold here in Canada, and that's what I don't like, because there's nothing else you can do. But the nice thing about it is you cannot go out, so you cannot spend money. Before I show my monthly expenses, my payday routine, I just want to tell that it's not easy to be earning money here, and that's what's my biggest lesson is that I really have to be mindful of the money that I am spending. Because if you're someone like me, like I really want to get that financial independence that I really want. You're gonna find ways on how you can earn a lot of money, how you can save, how you can invest, and how you can get most of the money that you're earning, right? And there are a lot of ways that you can earn money, and but you just really have to work hard. And I guess that's the life here in Canada, and maybe in other countries too, like in the USA, right? Like, but for sure, like even though it feels like you're just working all the time, it's really important to have time to prioritize yourself, prioritize what you really want to do, or like enjoy life still while being smart about spending your money. So that is all for my introduction, and let's start with my payday routine. So for the January, these are the pay. This is just an example, but amount is my actual salary. For your information, I have two jobs. One is my kind of full-time job. I am a point eight in one hospital and a casual position on another hospital. And I was thinking of getting another casual position in another unit. So I will be working a lot. And I like that idea of not focusing so much on one job, is that there's a variety, and I am not gonna be so exhausted like doing the same routine. And I like having a variety of specialty, because it gets more exciting. Oh, today I'll be working in this unit, and the next day I'll be working in a less busy unit, and the next day I will be working in an exciting unit. So it just gives me variety, so I don't get burnt out and exhausted and feeling like everything is a routine for me. But personally, I can work a lot. Like sometimes I don't take off. And that's just how I function. That's just how I work. But I will stop when I feel like I am burnt out. I don't force myself to work a lot to the point that I am gonna be burnt out. So for my first job, this is pay one. This is bi-weekly. And then for my first job, I earned $2,045.33. For the second job is 529.14. And this is the net income, meaning this is after taxes and deductions. And then on the second cycle of the paid, job number one, I earned 2,566.67. On job number two, 246.27. And the total earnings that I have was 5,387.41, and this is the sum, the total of 1 month working in my two jobs. So let's start with the rent. My rent is 1,068 and I am living in a studio apartment, and this is just my preference because I only need a small space. I don't need one bedroom apartment. I am comfortable living in a studio apartment, and I can also save money and put that money on my first time home buyers plan so that I can purchase my first home in the future. And so I am okay living in a small space. And so for my parking is 150. It's kind of expensive because it's a covered parking, and that's another thing of my preference. I don't like shoveling snow because it's additional stress for me. And I just want to wake up, get ready, go to work without shoveling. So I wanted to add to the list, I forgot to tell. So I have my phone bill, TELUS phone bill. I am paying the phone and for the monthly for that. So my phone is a lease, and I'm still thinking if I wanted to take it after the lease, but I am paying $157, and it is kind of expensive because I chose a nicer phone because this is what I am using when I am filming and for my social media. So I think it is just very useful for me. So yeah. And I have gym membership. This is very important for me because this is how I de-stress during my off days. So I am paying $48 for that. So unfortunately, my studio apartment doesn't have its in-suit laundry. So I have to go to a common laundry, and I am okay with that. I am not really picky. So I am paying $50 per month for my laundry. And so for my car insurance, the MPI is 137.44 and 34.17 monthly. And I have a term life insurance. I am planning to convert this to a universal life insurance. It's just that I chose the life insurance during my time when I was in school because this is the money that I can afford because I was in EI when I was still a student. But my term life insurance is $61. I got a comment. I remember that why do you have your own life? Why do you still have to pay life insurance? You have insurance in your workplace. This is very important that you have a separate life insurance outside of your workplace, and the insurance that you have at workplace is a group insurance, and it's covering all the employees that you have. That's what I, for my understanding, okay? But for me, I prefer to have my own life insurance that is separate from work. And because also if I'm planning to buy a house, I need to have a life insurance that is covering the amount of my future house. So that's why I'm planning to convert this to a universal life insurance. For my gas is 120 per month. I live kind of far away from my main job. Hospital parking is $95. Since I am mostly working full time, I am okay paying parking for my job because I don't want to spend extra time looking for parking on the streets, especially during winter. And it is just convenient for me. I also have monthly payment for the property that I recently purchased back in the Philippines. Don't ask me about is this a good idea? This is just the idea of my mom, so I'm just gonna follow it. And then I'm also sending a small amount of money back home just to help with the bills that they have back home. And then since I have second job, I also have to pay parking on that casual position, but it's a $10 per day. So mostly I get four ships. Mostly I take four shifts. Why cannot I pronounce shifts? 4 shifts in a month. and I am paying at least $40 for that. And then so those are my bills, and let's move on to my variable expenses. So grocery, I plan to budget my grocery 250. Sometimes I overspend, sometimes not, but I keep my budget on 250 so that I know that this is what the amount that I have to stick with. So I have two cats, and so for the pet foods and supplies, it's amounting $150. This year, my goal is to have no to low spending year. And so I am not putting any budget on restaurants. Sometimes you have to hang out with your friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can spend a little money for that. So I don't have budget for that, but if I need to, I'm gonna spend money on it. Coffee shops. Sometimes you just wanna have a nice coffee, and it's nothing bad about it, but I don't plan on putting any budget on that because I only go to coffee shops if I really need to. Personal care, I have a budget of $50. I will include massages here. And yeah, because I really need that sometimes. For healthcare, I plan not to get sick, so I don't have budget for it. And I have Spotify. I use it like when driving, when I'm at the gym, and it's something that I enjoy. So I am paying $7. It's $7 because it's still a student discount. And I have a CapCut subscription. This is where I edit all my videos, and this is important for me. So this is the only subscription. This is one of the important subscriptions that I have, and I am comfortable using CapCut to all my social media editing. So I am okay to pay $15 for that. And then I have a printer, and I am paying 1.89 per month on that, but sometimes I need to print a lot, so I exceed sometimes, but the budget is $1.89. So that is the total of my spending, and anything that is left are going to my emergency fund, my first time home buyers plan, my sinking fund or vacation fund, my RRSP, and paying off some of my debt. So that is all for my payday routine, and I hope that this video helps, and I hope that you get some idea of how much do a new grad nurse earns here, and the average spending of a single person. So this is for a single person. I don't have kids, I don't have husband, and the money that I am spending is just for me and my cats. So this is just to give you an idea, and it's gonna differ if you have a house, if you have a family, and for sure you're gonna spend more on that. But this is the idea of how much you're gonna spend if you're a single person like me. So that's it, and thank you. Please subscribe to my channel, and please let me know what else do you want to learn about living here in Canada, and I will try my best to share my personal experiences with you. So yeah, thank you for watching, and bye.